All right, so Prairie View A&M football will open the 2020 football season next February, starting with the State Fair Classic against Grambling State University. The annual game is normally played during the State Fair of Texas in September, but due to the ongoing pandemic, the team has pushed their schedule into the spring semester. The game will now be played on February 27th at the Cotton Bowl Stadium in Fair Park. Prairie View, like all teams in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, will play 6 conference football games, including 4 games against division opponents and 2 games against non-division opponents. Each team can also play 1 non-conference game.
Now, the SWAC also announced this week the schedules for all 10 SWAC schools for the upcoming 2021 spring football season. Here to discuss the upcoming season in the midst of COVID-19 is Commissioner Dr. Charles McClellan. Welcome to the Black Report, Dr. McClellan.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, brother. Now, the State Fair Classic is going to kick off this SWAC season. Can you walk us through the process of why did you decide to start the football season in spring of 2021?
We've been under this COVID-19 advisory process really since March when COVID-19 hit. I've had the opportunity to serve on the Division I Men's Basketball Committee, which is the group that selects the team and runs the NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. And as I sat in that committee room mid-March and we had to make the decision to cancel the entire basketball tournament and ultimately the spring season, we knew then that this was going to be a decision that we were going to have to face. So as a conference, we made sure we put together our COVID advisory group. We talked to the CEOs of our 10-member institutions, as well as the athletic directors, the coaches, the student athletes, and we began planning on playing in the fall. Our fall plans really took a turn for the worse as the COVID-19 began to get worse, even within our footprint. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas. So we had to devise that plan not to play in the fall and eventually move it to the spring. So ultimately what you've seen is that plan with Prairie View kicking off on the the State Fair Classic against Grambling.
Okay. Now, Doctor, can you tell us who the 10 SWAC schools are?
Yeah, great question. So in the state of Texas, and keep in mind, every major Division I Black college in the South, Southeast, and Southwest is a part of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. So in Texas, you have Prairie View A&M University and Texas Southern. Mm-hmm. In the state of Arkansas, it's the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Mm-hmm. In Louisiana, we have Grambling State and Southern University. Mississippi, we have Mississippi Valley State, Alcorn State, Jackson State. In the state of Alabama, we have Alabama State and Alabama A&M. And in the fall of 2021, we're going to welcome in our 2 new member institutions from the state of Florida, Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman University.
Oh, wow, that's nice. School. Yes.
What up, fam?
Congratulations on that. Now, how much of a financial burden does delaying the football season due to COVID-19 cause for HBCUs?
It's a significant financial burden. And when you look at the member institutions within our conference, we really have 3 main sources of income: institutional support, game guarantees, and fan support. We have led FCS in attendance 42 of the last 43 years. We have some classics that have 70, 75,000 people. Jackson State led FCS this year with 33,000. So our fan participation is huge. Mm-hmm. Our brand is huge. So to have a fall season, not having game guarantees and not having fans in the stand really was a significant blow. So moving these games to the spring, it is our hope that we will be able to have fans in the stands at full capacity, bring the marching bands, bring the tailgating, the whole show that we like to bring, and hopefully those member institutions can recoup some of the financial loss that they've experienced here in the fall.
Now, with that being said, will SWAC teams have a universal COVID-19 safety standard, or will each school determine COVID-19 safety rules for the players?
Yes, there is a universal standard that has been mandated by the NCAA, and there's also a standard within the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We spent a fair amount of 3 months with a COVID-19 advisory committee that was made up of medical experts, individuals within our conference, doctors, the CDC, Dr. Brian Hayline, information coming in from the NCAA. And we've put together a plan of how to safely move forward within this process. So again, that plan today might not necessarily be the plan when it comes in January because
Right.
COVID-19 is ever evolving. We're learning new information, contact tracing, the amount of testing that we have to do, even the quality of the testing. All of that is advancing as we go day in and day out. So I think we'll be in a much different place then than we are now. But yes, there will be universal standards.
Okay. Doctor, can you give us details on the 2019 edition of the Cricket Wireless SWAC Football Championship?
Yes, Cricket Wireless has been a tremendous partner for us. They have signed up for an additional year. Within our championship game, it's somewhat unique. We are the only FCS conference that will have its own championship game. And the SWAC and the MEAC obviously are the only two FCS conferences that will participate in the bowl game, ABC, the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta. So from a Cricket Wireless standpoint, they are our title sponsors. Our game takes the Eastern Division winner versus the Western Division winner, and they will meet for that championship game for the right to be able to play in the Celebration Bowl. So it's significant. It's nationally televised. The fans are, tremendous. The environment is tremendous. And again, one thing that we're proud of, not that we beat the Pac-12, but 2 years ago, we were 3,000 fans short of having more fans in the stand than the Pac-12 championship game.
Oh, wow.
So it is very well attended, and we're very excited to be able to continue that with the thankfulness of Cricket Wireless of being a sponsor.
Well, we'll definitely be watching over here on the Black Report. Now, there's a call, or rather a push, for more all-star high school athletes to choose HBCUs. Has the SWAC seen any all-star players choosing HBCU over PWI colleges?
Absolutely. And we have to point to our championship game and our Celebration Bowl opportunity. We're the only FCS institution where you can win a national championship, a Black college national championship, play on national TV, and actually get that bowl experience. So we've actually had a record number of 3-star. And as you know, if you know your stars, they really don't have 1 star. They don't rate you as a 1-star. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've had a record number of 3 stars over the last 3 years to join and sign with the Southwestern Athletic Conference over some of those FBS schools. Now, we've been a conduit of individuals, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, going to Autonomy 5 schools and transferring in. And now we're starting to see that trend turn. We haven't had a huge amount of 4-star and 5 stars. We've had some, but we're starting to see that trend grow. And again, thanks to our opportunity to play on national television, have a bowl game, and be able to compete. And as you know, the Southwestern Athletic Conference has inundated the NFL with players. We now have 17 NFL Hall of Famers. You're talking about Michael Strahan. You're talking about Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, Mel Blount, John Stallworth. So there's a record number of individuals there on the West Coast, Charlie Joyner. So if you want to get into the NFL, you can do it through the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And we're very proud of that. We've been able to display that, and our talent has been rich, and it will continue to be rich, in my opinion.
Real quick, I wanted to ask him, Kane, do you think the NFL will make it through a season since they want to continue to play in the fall?
I try to stay in my wheelhouse. I can tell you if anybody can make it, it will be the NFL.
Okay.
This COVID-19 does not discriminate. When I say doesn't discriminate whether you're wealthy or not wealthy, regardless of where you're from, your race, your ethnicity. So it really comes down to doing what's correct. Here in the South, there's a lot of politics that has been involved with COVID-19. And we're primarily a Republican area from Texas all the way to Alabama. So wearing masks has not been a main focus. Social distancing has not been a main focus. So I think based upon where you are and how much strength your local government and your state government has, will dictate how much and how far they will go. I question whether or not the NFL can make it, but I will tell you if any entity can, it would be the NFL.
All right.
Interesting to see how my Washington NFL football team does with Doug Williams, Grambling alum. First Black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Had to give a little props to that. Does managing the team as senior vice president. Dr. Charles McClellan, Commissioner of the SWAC. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Black Report. And we just love to highlight Black news and players coming from the SWAC and HBCUs, brother. So we thank you for taking some time out to join us here, and you're welcome back anytime.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having me. And we'd just like to congratulate you. You guys do an excellent job on the show.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you
you,
so
brother.
much.
Try to be like you, big dog. Yes, sir.